Good evening. Hello and welcome to Startup Central, the new avatar of Startup Central. I'm Nantara Rai in New Delhi. Every day we come to you at 6 p.m. with the latest and of course startups, but also entrepreneurship, technology, innovation, disruption, anything that has to do with the new economy. Well, before we get to the top story, ladies and gentlemen, just a quick alert. Stay in touch with us. Write into us as often as you can. Give us feedback. Tell us what you want to see on the show, what you never want to see on the show. Pitch to us. You never know. Maybe you'll be a part of Startup Central too. Our email address on the top of your screens, startupcentral@etnow.tv. I'm also on Twitter. You can write to me directly at Nantara Rai. Well, with that out of the way, we're going to today put the spotlight on Facebook India. We're going to get you a special interview with the top boss of Facebook India, Ajit Mohan. Big reason, of course, is why did we choose to interview Ajit Mohan? Well, Facebook has today announced that it's going to be partnering with the government's Common Services Center, the CSC as it's popularly called, for a new kind of a rural outreach. In fact, this is the first time that Facebook anywhere in the world is attempting such a partnership with any government when it comes to the grassroots. Well, let's get to the special interview and you'll get to know exactly what Facebook is up to. Well, I'm coming to you from Facebook's headquarters in New Delhi. I've got a very special guest, the top boss of Facebook in India, Ajit Mohan. Hi, Ajit. Welcome back to Startup Central. Good to have you on the show again. A lot of recent announcements that are coming in from Facebook. What's interesting is that you're really going down to the grassroots, and today's announcement really is about that. Take us through it.
Exactly, Nayantara. We are announcing a partnership with the CSC Academy, the Common Service Center Academy, essentially where we are partnering with them to introduce a curriculum focused on digital training to village-level entrepreneurs across the country.
So how is this exactly going to work? Common service centers, of course, have been making inroads. I don't expect you to comment on it, but most of them have been in the constituencies of ministers and all of that. But forget that. How will you get them to this level of digital marketing?
I think, Nayantara, when we were stepping back and thinking about it, we saw two things. One, a dramatic expansion in access to mobile broadband over the last 3 years. Internet has gone deeper into India. A lot of people obviously are coming online for the first time. And second, a history with the common service centers where over the last 10, 15 years, these centers have done a big role in expanding access to public services as well as activating village-level entrepreneurs. Yeah. So when we looked at these two, as well as the recognition that as Facebook with our scale, I think we have a special role to play in this country, just given the scale of Facebook in India, and people come onto Facebook across urban and rural India. We are probably deeper into India than any other service or app. We saw an opportunity where given the success that has already happened in expanded access to the internet, the big opportunity we saw is how do you unleash the potential of that access? And one of the opportunities, which is what is coming alive in this partnership, really is how do we bring the toolkits that are available to the most successful corporations around the world and essentially put that in a box. We almost think of it as entrepreneurship in a box, and make it available to village-level entrepreneurs that really allows them to
Can you highlight some of this with an example?
Two specific things that we are focused on. One of it is digital marketing toolkit. A lot of the challenge for first-time entrepreneurs is they may be building something like a rug or pickles. And a lot of times you have easy access to the market that you immediately see, which is the community that you live in. But you may not be aware of the market that lies beyond, not just in India, a lot of times around the world. And one of the mechanisms of reaching that market is for you to be able to leverage digital tools, digital marketing, to be able to know who's interested in your product and then to be able to reach out to them. And that's the power of Facebook, and that's what we're putting, one big part of the curriculum is putting that in a box and saying, here's the digital marketing tools that allow you a mechanism to understand the true opportunity that you have. The second example is...
If I could just come in there,
Sure.
because I can't help it, I have to see your entire portfolio. So you're going to do that. Let's take the same example, a rug or a pickle, a small entrepreneur in an obscure city, a town or a village. Enter Meesho, enter WhatsApp. It makes sense business-wise as well for Facebook.
Absolutely does. And I think given the conversation that we had on Meesho, and I'm glad you're connecting the dots for me, it's coming in from the same spirit. Because for us, the real power, whether it's Facebook or WhatsApp that you highlighted, is with the kind of scale that we have, we do believe that we have an amazing opportunity to bend the curve, to really move the needle on entrepreneurship in India, especially female entrepreneurship. So Meesho was about, can we play an enabling role in fueling private sector activity, given the structure of Meesho as a social commerce company, where it can do its role in lighting up female entrepreneurship. This is coming from a different lens, which is it's an opportunity to work with the CSE and the government to essentially bring in the same toolkits that large successful global corporations have, and bringing it to village entrepreneurs through a public program. So all of it is coming with the same spirit, which is India is very consequential for us. It plays a special role for the Facebook family of apps. And we are equally committed to making sure that the scale of Facebook is available for things that are good for India. And in this case, it is leveraging the power of the distribution of the CSE centers across the country. And frankly, it covers, in my mind, across states, across constituencies. It's fairly wide. How do we bring in what we can bring in, which is the scale of our platform, as well as our ability to create curriculums that focused on allowing entrepreneurs the opportunity to market to large number of people in India and around the world.
You gave me an example of somebody who makes rugs and pickles. You were going to give me another example.
The second point that I wanted to make is a lot of the friction that comes in for entrepreneurs, especially female entrepreneurs, where they may have access to the internet, but they may not be fully unleashing the potential of that access. And a lot of the concern is around safety and privacy. So that's the second example is the curriculum is going to be focused on helping women entrepreneurs get comfortable with the idea that you can come online and addressing their concerns around safety and privacy. How do you use tools to ensure that whatever your guardrails are, you're able to impose those guardrails in terms of how you engage with the internet? So we see it's a two-step process for us. It is the access is already there for a large number of people across the country, given how deep internet has gone. It's saying let's activate that through one, giving them the comfort that you can leverage that access in a safe environment. And then beyond that, here are the tools that really allow you to unleash the potential of the internet.
But Ajit, I've got to ask you this question as well. What are the targets? How many common service centers would you look at? It is a public program. Do you have any such targets or a vision in mind?
We do. And the first phase of this program is focused on working with 5,000 village level entrepreneurs who will then work with 250,000 people in the communities that they're a part of. So we are essentially training the trainers. We are working with these 5,000 VLEs through the CSE Academy, and they will work with 250,000. Beyond the first phase, we see the opportunity as being unlimited. I think if the first phase delivers the impact that we envision, the idea would be to partner with CSE to take it to every CSE and expand it across the whole network.
But who's going to train on behalf of Facebook? How is that aspect going to work?
So we are, the partnership with CSE Academy is essentially to make sure that a lot of the training is happening with them. The specific role that we play is two things, making sure that, and the program will develop over time. So one of it is, of course, given the scale of the network that we have, us making that network available for CSE. As an example, there's a huge potential to use Facebook Live to make sure that the success stories that may happen in one community radiates to other communities. There is a lot of asymmetry in access to information, and a lot of these entrepreneurs may have similar life experiences, context, as well as the opportunity that they have. I think there's
The
value in
lessons they
connecting
can
the
learn
dots.
from each other.
Yeah, so there's value in connecting the dots. I think second is again the toolkits. That's specifically where we are helping in terms of building those toolkits, both online and offline toolkits, that essentially becomes the curriculum for this training to happen.
So have you
So I think-
prepared the curriculum, or is it
Yes.
going to have to?
So a lot of that has been prepared. A lot of that
Can
is
you
still.
take us
is-
through some of it? It is very interesting.
Yeah, we can do that offline.
Okay.
I think, and I think there are examples we can provide of some of the offline kit as well.
So having said that, that means, because if you use Facebook Live, and I imagine you could also teach Facebook Live to teach the curriculum too, language will not be an issue, because I was going to ask you how you were going to battle the language.
The curriculum itself is in 14 languages. So I think just given the 10 states that have been identified by CSE, I think it is to make sure that these 14 languages address the languages relevant in those states. I think that debate in my mind, Nayantara, is behind us.
Okay.
For either a public or a private program to be relevant on the internet today, given the scale of the internet, I think you have to be
In every
across
language.
languages. And for us, that number will expand, the scale will expand. So I don't think language is a constraint anymore. And we see the curriculum as being in 14 languages as a starting point.
I've got to ask you this, are you going this micro to the grassroots level only in India, or is this something you're doing across global geographies, across emerging economies?
I think this specific program definitely is an innovation that has come out of India. Facebook as a whole has different programs, whether it's She Means Business or Community Boost, that are focused on engaging with communities. But a program of this nature, where we are working with the government, with a institution like the CSE that's really focused on training village level entrepreneurs, is definitely a first of its kind. And hopefully for us, the big opportunity would be if we can showcase this as an example of a model that already has had success in India, the CSE model, and build in a layer of how a private company can come in and really fuel and unleash the true potential of the internet.
I've got to ask you this. This is obviously not corporate social responsibility.
No, it's not.
So this is, you plan to make money from
It,
this?
it depends on how you phrase it. I interpreted the question as, is it part of our structured CSR program
No,
that is in
yeah.
line with some of the specific rules that are relevant in India? It's not. But is this focused on our commercial agenda? Absolutely not. I think
Really? Because you will be able to spread the Facebook message, the Facebook net, the WhatsApp net in rural India too. It seems smart.
No, I'm glad that you're seeing what we do as smart, Nayantara, but I think the lens that we're applying is Facebook already has scale. Even if I just look about the Facebook
You don't want to say
app,
no to new users.
not at all. Even if I look at the Facebook app with more than 300 million people, a lot of whom come every day and growing very fast in India, there are a lot of things that we do to make sure that our sort of role in India as a very consequential material app that probably reaches more Indians. We will have programs to make sure that we continue to continue on that path. But this program is not about expanding Facebook's reach, not at all. I think this is about recognizing that with the reach that we have, with all of the toolkits that we have developed for corporations around the world, that large
And
successful
it fits in
corporations
well
use
with
every day.
Digital India, financial inclusion could be the next step.
Yeah, exactly. And CSE actually has a part of it that this time we're not directly focused on, which is on financial literacy. But the agenda here is really saying, how can we, with everything that we can bring to CSE, fuel India's agenda? So by no measure am I saying there aren't things that we do that are in our commercial interest. But this program is about the networks that we have, the communities that we have, the access to knowledge that we have. How do we build that almost into a curriculum in a box that can be helpful for CSE And the government's mission, not only to expand access to the internet, but in terms of building now new layers of services and unleashing the potential of all the people
This
who
will be
have
the
come
first
online.
of many, because like I said, you've done stuff in the startup universe,
Yes.
you've got various programs, you're focusing on SMEs, and now you're really going down the microwave. So I would imagine this is the first of such initiatives, if not with the government, but in a private sphere.
I would think so. And the dots connect for me, which is, I think your question is, whether it's with an investment in Meesho, which is very focused on the private sector, or a program like this where we are working with the CSE, I think the dots do connect that all of this aids the cause of expanding economic opportunities in India. And the deeper we can get, I think the better it is for all the stakeholders.
I'm going to end this interview with my final question, and it's a slightly cheeky one. I said it's smart when you look at the commercial sense, but it's also smart with the strategy to have the government's favor. The government would like it, right? Let's be honest about it.
Absolutely. And for me, there is
And why not? It's a good initiative.
There's absolutely, I think I appreciate that the fact that the government and in this case the CSE is open to private partnerships and open to really saying how can we leverage the full capabilities of all the stakeholders to further the agenda of Digital India.
And with that, Ajit, I'd like to thank you for joining us on Startup
you.
Central. Thanks so much. Well, there you go. That's the top boss of Facebook India, Ajit Mohan, only on Startup Central. An initiative that Facebook is trying out for the first time in India, a rural outreach program in partnership with the government to empower village-level entrepreneurs, particularly women. Tell us what you thought of that interview. You can write into us at startupcentral@etnow.tv. You can also write to me directly on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @NayantharaRai. With that, we're going to take a short commercial break. But on the other side, we've got another special interview lined up for you. It's with the unicorn Oyo. Why are we featuring Oyo? Because today it announced it's entering a new business. What is that business? What are the plans? Stay tuned to find out.